I'm going to McDonald's.
Congratulations on J.Lo Beauty. I mean, Jennifer, whenever I interview you, I think the one question that I get the most from viewers or even like friends and family is, what is her skin like up close? And you know, is that the question you get the most about your skin and the J.Lo glow?
That's why I made a skincare line, because it is, you know, we'll talk about music, movies, this, that, and wherever I go, people will be like, what are you doing for your skin? I'm like, okay. So I really felt an obligation almost to, if I was gonna go into beauty, that the skincare would have to be first and foremost. And so that was kind of the idea. And I've actually been thinking about this for about 20 years. Benny have talked about it so many times. I think I needed to get to a place where I had enough experience, where I was kind of more fully realized in myself to have a really philosophy about beauty and about beauty from the inside out and what that means and what it meant to me. And the idea of beauty having no expiration date. You know, you get to a certain age and then, you know, people are ready to kind of like, boop, boop, you next, bye-bye, you know, and you're like, hold on.
I ain't finished yet.
On right now. As women, people are so ready to write us off. I just kept waiting for that to happen. And then I realized, no, I'm not going to let that happen. And that you can look great. You know, there was a whole bunch of stuff like, yo, she's this age, she's that age, she did her birthday tour, blah, blah. She looks great for that age. And it's like, I don't think anybody wants that. Everybody wants to go, you just look great. You know what I mean? And so J.Lo Beauty is about that. It's about feeling great, looking great, having the healthiest skin you can have, and how do you keep that youthful and timeless look at any age. It's about being limitless. It's about being powerful and understanding beauty really doesn't have an expiration date.
So how did you manage then to bottle that glow?
Yeah, so that took a minute, because again, we literally have a product called that J.Lo Glow, which is this one, which is the serum.
Ooh, I'm about to buy that. Let me see. Ooh, in the bottle. Ooh, the packaging is gorgeous.
Hey, let me show you some more then.
Ooh. Oh, that's so pretty.
It's gorgeous, and I will send you some. We have like what I call the kind of S's, the secret, right? So it's like supplement, serum, sunscreen, and sleep, and then living healthy, which in Spanish is sano. So the combination of those and these products, and again, it took us maybe 26 different formulations. Like I kept sending it back. They were like, how about this the first time? I'm like, no. And I thought they thought, well, we'll revise it once or twice and we'll get there. 26 iterations later, I'm like, we got it. It took a minute to really get it to the standard that I felt like I could put on the bottle, that J.Lo Glow. You had to put it on, it had to give you a glow, it had to tighten, it had to make you feel something. But then over time, I wanted it to be super healthy for your skin. So as you kept taking it with the supplement, I call it a pump and a pill. You take the pump of the serum and the pill, and through that, you will have this glowing skin, you know, over time, and also get an immediate reaction from an immediate kind of you'll see it right away when you use the serum.
Some of it is genetics with you too, because we see your mama. What do you think? Yeah, she gets it from her mama. But what do you think that Emmy would say, like, is your beauty wisdom that you've given to her?
You know, I think it's about, at the end of the day, beauty starts from the inside out. And I always tell her that. You can be youthful and timeless at every age. It's how you feel about yourself on the inside. So that self-love and beauty company being about self-care as well is a form of self-love. You know, when you go into the mirror and you kind of, you know, wash that face and you wash things away and you just take time and you take your little rollers and, you know, I don't know if you use those things, but I'm going to show my whole routine, you know, when we launch, and I'll show you the things that I do. But when you do that, it's kind of like letting the bad thoughts go away. It's kind of like just kind of taking a moment for yourself to say, you know, I'm taking care of you. I'm going to be your little keeper right now, and we're going to get ready for the day, and we're going to have an amazing day, and you're amazing. And I think those things are the things I try to teach my girls, is like you have to feel great about yourself first, so then you can be great for everybody else. It's about being powerful. It's about realizing your own value. And that's, for me, what J.Lo Beauty is about, being loving to yourself.
Alex posted this the other day where he said you guys had come from dinner. He was about to get a massage and you were up in the gym putting in work, putting in work. So I wonder, because we know you take such good care of yourself, but what is your indulgence when you decide, like, I'm just going to indulge?
I do. I love having like the other night after the American Music Awards, I went to McDonald's. You know, I was like, I'm going to McDonald's because I've been like really good these past few weeks getting ready for my first performance in a long time since the, you know, the quarantine. And, you know, so I was working out every day. That's why, you know, I went up to the gym that night and I was, you know, in dance rehearsals and in singing, you know, song, the whole thing.
Right.
And so afterwards, I was just like, I'm gonna go. I haven't had McDonald's in about 3 years, maybe longer. And I was like, I'm gonna go have McDonald's. That's what I'm gonna do.
First of all, you made me fall in love with you even more by saying that. After you snatch our wigs with Maluma, you go have a Big Mac. Come on, man. By the way,
Benny drove me. I was like, Benny, we're stopping at the drive-thru.
Okay, what does the drive-thru person think when Jennifer Lopez and Benny Medina roll up at McDonald's?
You know, they didn't know. Benny's just like a double cheeseburger meal. This one over here. They didn't even see us. I was just like, lots of ketchup.
By the way, your performance with Maluma, why did you want to do Marry Me with him? And what does he bring to the table? Because that performance was hot. I loved it.
Thank you so much. You know, Marry Me, which is the movie that Maluma and I did together, will be out next year. I think it's May 14th right now. You know, everything has been so fluid with everything in the theaters and not being open and all that kind of stuff. But right now it's for next year, May 14th. It's called Marry Me. And he just does bring, we needed an international superstar. And I think a lot of names came up, like Adam Levine or Drake or John Mayer, and like any of them could have played the part. But I was like, why don't we get a Latino? Why don't we get like a global international superstar? And I brought up Maluma's name and I was like, do you guys know who Maluma is? And, you know, some people did, some people didn't, you know, that we were producing and doing the movie with, and the director and everybody. And then they met him and everybody fell in love with him. And I just thought, like, I really wanted to make a Spanglish album, an English and Spanish album, because I feel like that's something that hasn't been done for a mainstream American movie. So that was part of the reason, and he was a perfect person to do it with, and we had great musical chemistry. And we wound up even doing more songs after the movie, which were the two that we performed on Sunday at the AMAs, which one of them wound up being in the film as well.
Marry me, say yes. Marry me, say yes.
2020 has driven us all a little crazy. Your fans as well, because with the projects you have coming up, Marry Me, and then you're teaming up with Armie Hammer and Shotgun Wedding. Everyone's saying, is Jennifer trying to give us a message? Like, are her and Alex gonna elope? Like, what is gonna happen? Because
it's so fun.
People are digging deep, Jennifer.
Your life does reflect into the things that you're doing at times, but it's just kind of a coincidence. It wasn't like when I did El Anillo and I did, you know, the song that I did in Spanish, which was like, when are you gonna give me a ring? And all. I wasn't really trying to send a message. It's just like a song that we wrote that we liked. And then, you know, with Marry Me, it's something that we were producing. I mean, we were developing for like, I don't know, it had to be like 7 years.
Wow.
Get it right and at the right studio and all that kind of stuff. And then like it's happening now when, you know, Alex and I are, you know, engaged and about to get married at some point. So yeah, it just happens that way. It's a funny thing, life and art, the way they kind of intersect.
They just announced The Weeknd's going to perform at the Super Bowl. Any advice for him stepping on the world's largest stage since you just did it?
Good luck. It was intense.
Yeah.
It was intense for me, and it was all worth it in the end. Yeah. But the ride itself is intense. It's funny. I spoke to a friend of ours, Benny and I, who manages another big artist, who did the Super Bowl at one time a few years back, and was like, it was the most stressful time. He was like, Benny was like, he was like, what happened? He was like, you know, no, we almost quit on each other. Like it was the only time in years that we quit on each other. And so it's an intense experience for the performer. I think, because you know it's a big stage and you want to do great and you're fighting certain elements creatively. And it's just one of those things that I think is such a privilege and a blessing to be able to experience. But then you realize, oh, this is why it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. And I'm just so glad that everybody, you know, at the end of the day enjoyed the performance and loved what we did. And I'm happy. I'm happy that it's not me this year and it's the weekend.
You know, in February, Jennifer, you're gonna have teenagers. Woo.
I know.
It's the good thing that you got a precursor with Natasha and Ella.
I'm 16 the other day. You know, Ella and Emmy and Max are all the same age, so they're all going to be teenagers early next year, and it's crazy. It's just, it goes so fast. And again, that's why it's about cherishing every day. It's about, you know, cherishing yourself and your time, because it's precious. It's precious.